Welcome to Friday Pike Day. Now, you may notice that we are starting in a car without actually building one today, and that's because today we're doing something a little bit different. And this car is, yes, one that I've already run up here from a week or two ago. You may notice, if you're eagle-eyed right about there, is that this has only 1 liter of fuel, and that's what today's challenge is going to be about, is how far can we make it on 1 liter of fuel? And I think I have the car that would really like to do this challenge, and we've already run out. Well, that's a stinker. This car, on the other hand, should do a much better job. And we're going to see how far we can make it on the 1 liter of fuel. Then we're going to go back to automation and make a version of this that'll hopefully use up that liter of fuel in a reasonable amount of time, so then it'll help me get up to the top a lot faster. Because in these times, you really do have to be fuel economical, even in racing. So, yeah, not a particularly fast car, and unlike the last one, we are not seeing that fuel number go down at all. I keep forgetting that this thing has an incredibly short gear ratio, but we are already at our limit of 70-something kilometers an hour. We are also going to fit on bigger tires, so that's going to hurt us quite a bit. Oh, look at that. We've used 0.02 of a liter. We should easily make it all the way up the top of this hill. Do I even need dash cam for this? I don't think I do. The choice of gearing here really sucks. Oh, damn. It just understeered. I wasn't expecting that. And then it zooms. This thing has potential. You know, no, we do need to be on dash cam because driving with a steering wheel in a car like this in third person feels really weird. Fitting on the bigger tires, though, will be one of the biggest fuel users that there is. So we're gonna probably do a few different tunes of this thing. We're about halfway, and we've only used 0.09 of a liter, and this thing then tops out at 87 kilometers an hour. So I think we have the great bounds to get up this hill with 1 liter of fuel. And then we coast along at 88 kilometers an hour to bring it across the line with only using 0.14 of a liter of fuel to get all the way up, when the last car had 1 liter and barely made it past the first corner. So let's jump over to automation. We're going to start this off by creating a clone of this car. Now, I've decided to use this particular car model because it is the best HyperMiler that has ever existed. There is no car that comes close to how amazing this car is or ever will be. And we're going to call this the HyperMiler Pikes Peak. Now, the very first thing that I want to do is I want to say that this engine is going to stay very much the same. The only thing that's really going to change is the fact that I'm going to put a bigger turbo on it. So we're going to say that it's got exactly the same details as the previous one, but we're going to do a little bit of tuning to this car. One of the first things we're going to do is going to increase this RPM, because we do need that to be a little bit better. Then the next thing is we're going to put on a sports turbocharger. Now, will this destroy the engine? Maybe. We can't go over 330 for the pistons, because they have a low tolerance, being the low friction cast. And we don't want to pull this engine apart. We really don't, because this is a custom engine, and to create custom pistons and stuff is going to be a pain in the neck. Oh, we're knocking immediately. Yeah, let's tune in some fuel. But we don't want to run into just major problems immediately, so we're going to say you can put on a custom head gaskets are easy to make, and making a thick one, not particularly hard. And put on a big chunky intercooler from just some sort of like JDM imports part place, and turn up that boost pressure. Now, how high do we want to raise this RPM? Apparently, quite a lot. Now, our new fuel system also is not going to be particularly the same as this. We're going to say that they replaced it with a really good aftermarket system, but not like a plus 15 to where it's like absolutely finicky. Now, how big of an exhaust do we fit on here? Oh yeah, we can fit a big racy exhaust on here. Then we can go up further in that RPM. There we go. We'll shift early. We'll probably shift somewhere around here, but if we need to, we can extend out our RPM for, like, say, entering a corner, because we are going to keep using the same manual that's in the car. Let's give our new engine a listen. Oh, that actually sounds really beefy. It is a straight 6 though, don't forget, though it is incredibly over square. As you can see here, we've gone like over square and over square again to give us the best results. Oh wait, because we increased our RPM, our top speed is now 179. Will we fit in a bigger differential though? That could be tricky. But I'm gonna go ahead and guess that maybe they used a transmission from another car and they just put in a custom drive ratio to help them get the fuel mileage that they want. So we might actually extend that out. I would say somewhere around a 4.5 might be acceptable as a differential. And we're probably going to grab an advanced differential. Because this is the latest technology as well, we're going to go with an electronic LSD. And these semi-slicks are going to be fairly big. We're going to stick with front-wheel drive though. Wow, we are getting some high sportiness score and not having zero drivability. That is impressive. Yep, our wheels are now poking out of the wheel well covers. So, yep, we can make them pop out even more. Nice. Oh, that's funny. Let's go in and delete these things. Delete tree and delete tree. So those wheel well covers were really only for making sure that the aerodynamics were top notch. Did they need to be there? No, not so much. We are actually going to make these wheels just poke inside. Nope. Okay, they don't want to poke inside. Our wheel spin is 15%? How? We got fat ass tires on a car that doesn't even have that much power. God damn, guys. So we're going to say that they put on a bigger turbo. How much more can we get out of here? Oh, not actually a whole lot. We want to smooth out that curve as well. I think we've smoothed that out enough, but we're still somehow getting a really bad wheel spin, and I don't understand why. We can't go all drive. The only thing we can really properly do is put in a really long drive ratio. Bruh. That's a very long rear final drive ratio. But we are down to 10%, so, I mean, it's acceptable. Do we flare out the wheel wells to fit on bigger tires? I think that might be going a little too far. What I do want to do, though, is make them tuck under just ever so slightly. 180s, huh? That's a problem. And we do want to have a little bit of oversteer, so then hopefully we can drag that thing around a corner and make them fill out the wheel well, and we are good to move on. Brakes! Oh my god. We have a very different detail now. We're going to stick with the same sort of brakes that were there. Oh, no. All right, yeah, we're going to fit on bigger disc brakes. God damn, guys. Because we're generating more power, we're going to need more airflow. So we're going to put that back up to a normal number. We're going to put a sports seat in there. Not going to be completely high quality. It's like a good one, but not like billet carbon fiber type thing. Now, because we're going to have at least a roll cage, we're going to put this quality of safety up to a 0 to just add that little bit of extra weight. So that is an extra 28 kilos. You know, we can go more than that. That'll do. Yeah. And as for this, we're probably going to select race. Now, time to move on to the beautification of this thing. Companies like abbreviations, and since this is the Pikes Peak version, it's going to have a PP badge on the rear. I don't see anything wrong with this, do you? You may want to get your head out of the gutter though. All right, downforce. We're gonna just slap on an aftermarket wing. We're gonna say polyfuel, since they sound like the sort of place that is like the last hurrah of actually using fuel, and they want to cash in on like trying to say, fuel isn't dead, don't move to batteries yet. We do not need to have such a long drive ratio. 228 is what I might expect to reach on this track, maybe. But we are putting downforce on. Let's hope that this doesn't cause scraping, because that would be a pain in the dick. And yes, made out of carbon fiber, because it'll be just like kind of a bolt-on part used out of what you would expect these sorts of things to be made out of. Same with the wing. Hope to God that does not scrape. We are also going to get a little bit of extra cooling in here because this thing was designed to have no cooling whatsoever. You can just go ahead with the cheap and nasty what a lot of race car drivers do. And even though it does have its own piddly little radiator there, we're going to put a big radiator intercooler looking thing up the front. There we go. Much better. Now it looks like this thing actually gets cooling. So I like it. And we are going to put on some generic racos. Looks good to me. Let's make them like a powder-coated black, though. That looks good. I like it a lot. That looks really good. Oh, boy. We're going to say that these brakes are not like super high-quality brakes. And we're going to put on bigger discs, though, because they do look a bit weird. And you do need to have bigger discs, really. It'll help with the lock-up situation. So we've taken this incredibly light car up to 400 kilos, though we're still getting 131 miles per gallon. I doubt it's going to get that under full acceleration race conditions, but it is not 131 kilometers to the top. I'm gonna guess it's somewhere in the vicinity of a couple kilometers. I don't actually know how long this particular race is, so that's just what we're gonna go with. This is actually starting to look really like a fun car. Probably not an amazing car, but like a really fun car nonetheless. Aerodynamics. Now, this is going to be turned up a lot. You know what? Actually, that's hurting our fuel usage a lot as well. So maybe we should be a little bit concerned about that. Still, it's not 127 kilometers to the top either. And the quality of this is also not going to be absolutely ballistically amazing because, yeah, that's a little too much to ask for from like a small racing team. This is not done by Ace themselves. This is done by a tuning company, kind of like that guy that went up in the Tesla 3. Kind of like that sort of thing. Where it's kind of like an independent team with the blessing of the company, but not exactly with the company. What do we reckon? I'm gonna say like, 2 minute 5. 2 minute 12, okay. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more than that, but okay. That is actually still a good time though. I had no idea how much of a weight ratio there was to the front. Goodness gracious. These are also going to be just regular vented discs to save money, and we have put on a bit more weight. That's fine, just because. And if you're playing along at home, it's the Pikes Peak map with the Devil's Playground short version. God damn it, it came out chrome. Much better, except for some reason it's jiggling. And I don't know why. Like, my steering wheel is moving back and forth, I don't get it. So here we have our car, and it does look incredibly aggressive with just a few little updates. Down the back end, yes, does still look really dorky, but I mean, that's kind of besides the point. It's the rest of the car that I still like a lot. Yeah, I think it looks cool. Especially if you look at it from like this angle, it looks really cool. Let's go ahead and give this thing only 1 liter of fuel. Apply. Okay, get back in place, and let's get ready to give this thing our first try. We're gonna switch over to manual control here. Oh boy, okay. So yeah, the gear ratio is still actually quite short. Oh, I don't need to go through on 3rd gear here. Usually that's a 3rd gear corner. Interesting. This thing has a lot of traction. It's like they said that it had, what was it, like 15% wheel spin? It does not feel like 15% wheel spin. This thing is fighting me like really weirdly. It's like very, oh my god, it brakes so quickly because it's so light. That is crazy. I was not expecting that. Also, I'm very happy that the front splitter didn't fall off, and it does actually feel as if today the rear wing is generating downforce, unlike yesterday's car, which made me really disappointed. Wow, I could have gone through there much faster. This car has a lot of potential. I am actually really enjoying this so far. I don't like the fact that the wheel is jiggling back and forth a lot. It is, oh my god, it brakes so fast. I mean, I'm not going as fast as what I'd expect, but it brakes so quickly. I think I'm gonna have to go full sweat mode to like be able to push the braking points as much as I really should. Sweat mode activate. But even with sweat mode, I wasn't able to actually get my braking points right, though I was able to go through there in 3rd gear, which that is usually really very much a 2nd gear, sometimes even a 1st gear corner. But every time I came out to a corner, I was always like, when do I brake? And then it shudders, making it really hard to control. It was just a bit of a messy car. Now here, check that. No lift whatsoever. Yes, isn't that amazing? I mean, sure, it's because I wasn't going fast enough to actually get thrown off of that sneaky corner, and then I braked too early again. Add to that I stuffed up the corner anyway. I like double, triple braked and just took the apex completely wrong. Now we're gonna come up to the 2nd sneaky corner, which it's more that it's not so much a corner that you don't see, it's around behind a corner, and then, well, yeah, I'm gonna brake too early anyway. But luckily it's a light car and you can really just chuck it through there and accelerate super fast. Now the next corner I took actually quite well. As you can see, we're coming up here, we're going at still a really slow speed, but I dove on those brakes last second, and I was able to actually pull it off really well. Now we're gonna come up to what I would consider the 3rd really sneaky corner. This is not as bad as the first one, but it does tighten up a lot more than what you expect it to actually tighten up, and then you can get caught off quite hard. Now this one, yeah, I didn't quite do so well. As you can see, I broke too early. I then proceeded to cut it, which threw me wide, and then also stuffed up my exit. So I stuffed up the entrance, the middle, and the exit. The rest of this race was quite fine there. You can see I got it quite well. But now we're going to come up to what I would consider the 4th really sneaky corner here. And if you have a super powerful car, is where it really catches you. Over that crest that we just went over, it'll generally fly off. So you do have to take it very carefully, probably slow down. But here we go, a middling 3-minute lap. Not amazing. Okay, so here's my thinking. This wasn't particularly fast. I have knocked off an entire minute with just a bit of really a turbo tuning, a different differential, and some good tires with downforce. I suppose I did also change the brakes. So maybe there was a little bit of a change. Also the roll cage, obviously, because you're gonna want a roll cage going up here, for frick's sake. I think I can probably knock off 5 to 10 seconds. I'm gonna give this another try and then see how much fuel I have left, and then go and tune this thing to use even more fuel, possibly. I just knocked off 11 and a bit seconds. Jesus, guys, that was a much better run. It's also really fun to drive. I could just end the video here, but no, I am not some sort of weakling. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna tune this, I'm going to quote-unquote return the next year. But first, I do have that NOS bottle on there, and we can put this up a lot, though I get the feeling that this is going to completely destroy the engine. I'm going to try it anyway. Okay, now with nitrous oxide turned on. Okay, we're... Oh boy, it's already so much more aggressive. Jesus! Ah! Oh my god! What is it doing? It's trying to kill me! Ah, shit! Well, let's go over to automation. God damn! What was that? So the first thing we can do is we can add just all the downforce. What we should really do is try to get more power out of this with just, you know, good turbo tuning. We're getting 92 miles per gallon, which is not quite half of what we had. So we were like 60 liters, 0.6 liters left. So that means we can use double the amount of fuel. And that means going a bit ridiculous with these details here. We can go a little bit oversteery. These are good numbers. Like it's nearly 90 before it completely just gives up. We might add more downforce as well. Okay, hopefully that helps. We also didn't reach a very high top speed, so we're gonna reduce this a fair amount. Let's see what the test track says, even though this is more of a short track than anything else. A 210? Oh, we've knocked off some time. What about it? The undescript airfield that nobody knows what this airfield is meant to be. Complete secret.
Well, he did it in not 123.3, okay? A little bit higher than that. A little bit higher than an R8 V10 or a 599. Or a 599 GTO. It's past the old GTR. Still higher, past the NZ. Higher, higher, higher. There. Unbelievable. 117.8.
3, nice. Did it just pop all its tires? Wait, what the heck? That was weird. I've never had that one before. If you ever forget to stop your car from chroming, yeah, you can come to color and just select default and everything and it'll just switch it back. That's a much easier way of doing it. Well, that's a crying disappointment. I've made it considerably slower, but I do have an idea. We just would put on NOS, but not actually tune it. And I think with a proper tune of NOS, this could actually go a lot faster. So in the lower gears, this thing has plenty of power, but in the higher gears, not so much. So we're gonna change this to like, we're gonna say 4th gear. No, we'll make it 3rd gear and we're gonna make it the top end of the rev range. Have I destroyed my engine? What's happening? Oh my god, I ran out of fuel! What? We're gonna make this completely custom. Adjustable shot. So we're gonna down this to say like 45 kilowatts. Nah, we'll do it to 40 kilowatts. Then we're gonna add it to 3rd gear again, and we're gonna bring this down a little bit. So just to help us in case we're bogging. We may even put that in 2nd gear? Nah, 2nd gear might be a little too violent. Okay. Is my engine damaged again? It's at this point that I decided to go back and try to fix whatever this particular issue was that I didn't really understand. So, added bigger wheels, flared out the arches just a little bit to get those bigger wheels to fit. We didn't do much to the rear. Doing a little bit of fiberglass work to make it a little bit wider. You know what? Not the worst thing. We got 2 3.5s in the front. We've lengthened out the gearbox just a little bit, so our top speed is now around 220. Aerodynamics come down quite a bit as well, so we can do a little bit more aggression with that nitro. We are gonna try to get more mileage out of this, so we can drop that wing actually quite a lot. Good. We're inducing a bit of oversteer. Our mileage is now up to 101.6. We need to go further than that, though, I think. We might go into the engine and actually reduce the fuel usage just a bit because, yeah, we are hurting. That should do it. Okay, we've got our 1 liter. Our minimum gearing is 3. We've gone up to a 50 kilowatt boost. Hopefully, with the bigger tires, we can actually accommodate this. No matter what I do, it just pops the tires when it lands. What is it popping on? God damn it. All right, let's go do all the re-export again. Probably just get rid of those entirely. There's nothing I can do to stop it from popping the tires. What the hell? What the fuck just happened? Okay, so we finally have it working. What we did is we made the tires a little bit bigger so then there's a little bit more give in them. So hopefully they wouldn't pop, and we moved that front splitter around a little bit. Hopefully this all works now. We've got ourselves the 1 liter. We've set it to 3rd gear, 50 kilowatts, and let's hope that this works. Okay, yeah, the engine. So it's not that it's running out of fuel. This thing is actually legitimately braking under the amount of extra power that I've given it. Oh, that's a load of bollocks. And it doesn't give me a damage readout either. It just starts doing it. So let's go ahead and change the ratio here. We're going to make it 35 kilowatts and we're going to put it into second gear. Well, shit. We're going to tune this down just a little bit more, maybe to like a 30 kilowatt boost and only in third gear. See if that helps us. Oh god. This is such a narrow, fine point that I've brought this to. Sweat mode, activate. I would like to also point out that in my start there, I didn't actually rev up the engine at all beforehand, and that's just to save that little bit extra fuel. This was a real tightrope of a lap that I was trying to pull off here. But pull it off I did. This lap was actually really good. Now these next two corners usually cause a modicum of fear when you go around them. Like, there's no other real way to put it. It makes your balls jump into you. Now watch this brake late and then shut up. So I would probably, if I was to do this in the future, have to go back and make this a little bit softer so then it wouldn't feel quite so violent into corners, making it unsettled and a little bit uncontrollable. Though in every other regard, man, this thing is a beast. It is so light and so powerful for it. I mean, actually, it's not that powerful, but just watch this, braking way too early. I have been taking this up the hill all day long, and I'm still being surprised by just how late you can brake. Now watch this. I even brake too much here, and then it just... I'm braking late, guys. I am. Trust me, I am braking late, and it's still making me brake way too early because I just do not expect it to be quite so good. Now, luckily, this car, coming up to the sneaky corner, one, it doesn't have the hugest amount of power, and two, it does do that perfect gear change right at that point, which allows you to weight transfer whilst changing gears, which makes it a lot easier to control. Then I go ahead and brake too early again. As you can see here, I just stuff up the entry completely. But guys, this car is tuned, it is dialed in, that is not going to phase it one bit. Now, watch me go into this corner. Do I brake too early again? No, actually, I do it okay. But unlike that last corner, this next one is going to be perfect. You guys want to see an exact example of how braking should be? Watch this. At the absolute right time, I was able to reach in, get that apex without touching the inside of the corner and unsettling the car. Now, compared to that to the pants filling corner here, yeah, that was a little bit frightening, but it was all just completely undone by the fact that the car started to chug again. At this point, I just went, you know what? We're going to try to finish the lap. We're going to see what it does under NOS, but nothing was going to stop me. I was going to get these next two corners down perfectly, and here we go, braking perfectly. I just got the turn in right. I got the exit fine. Sure, it was a little bit gutless, and that really did help me with going over the crest here. I mean, just no speed. You don't have to worry. I was just so disappointed. At this point, I didn't realize what sort of lap time I'd done. I just wanted to get across that line and have a lap time set. I hadn't realized, but Jesus. I can't believe, even with the engine being busted up for the last little bit there, that it was able to do a 242. That's 8 to 9 seconds faster than what I was able to do on the previous one. That is so cool. And now it blows the Nissan Godzilla out of the water by 10 whole seconds whilst using less than 1 liter of fuel. So there it goes to show that sometimes more is not always better. Sometimes smarter is better. Oh dear, and we're only 2 seconds off of the first time that I did on the Paternity Pikes bike, but then it's 4 seconds behind it in total. Though we are using like a lot of newer technology than what was available for that Paternity Pikes Peak one, which I actually really love. That car's turbo lag just feels so rewarding when you're getting on it properly. I just want to drive that car more. And then the Tutor Winger. Yeah, that car was 10 seconds faster than this thing. God damn. And then 10 seconds faster again is my best one so far, which is the PCP, my like personal brand of kit car that I would make if I could make a kit car. Oh, boys. Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I sure did. I'm probably going to go for a little bit of a, just a bit of fun I hope to catch you guys next time. Please do subscribe. This is a growing channel. I wanted to reach 1,000 subscribers before what it's projected for me to hit. I think the projection for me to hit 1,000 subscribers is in like 2.5 months. I would love it if we could blow that out of the water, do a much better job, and get a much quicker time to 100. No, wait, no, not to 100. Sorry, to 1,000, and not 1,000 kilometers an hour like what I was thinking. No, to 1,000 subscribers. Oh, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is such... Friday Pike Day is what I look forward to during this spate of videos that I'm making, and that's the reason why it's going to stick around for a very long time. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.